What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. I just tried doing a cool transition where I thought the thumbnail would turn into the video, but now I realised that you probably had an ad between clicking on the video after seeing the thumbnail and now watching the video, and so this has been completely pointless and I should probably start again. I absolutely love seeing people that I see in my community on a very regular basis as well, pumping tracks out for the community. So this is a track created by Nugget Boy. Now, I haven't got the actual name of the track here. What is it? It's Olenberg. It's a German pronunciation, so I'm probably doing it very wrong. I do apologise. Someone can correct me down in the comments down below. But it is based on, well, it's almost a replica of his favourite real-life track in Germany, located near Cologne. Now, he says, in terms of being a replica, this track is quite commonly known in real life, or is popular for being very, very smooth. So what he's done is to make it a little bit more challenging, a little bit more fun in game. He's added some rough and ruts himself. And having a quick fly around here, it actually looks really, really nice. And he's even gone to the point where we've got ruts that kind of cross back over each other, which I think is something that ends up being quite advanced, which is really, really cool. Now, this is, I believe, his first ever track, which, I mean, if we fly around, if we go above the map, there's also some little trail rides down here that he's added in. I mean, to do this as a first project as well, I think it's very, very impressive. I suck with, what you call it? Like, heels, I'll just call it elevation. That's the word. I suck with elevation. But there's a lot going on here, and it looks really, really interesting, even to the point where I don't know if he's modelled this stuff himself in Blender, but even like hoses and stuff like this, I don't know where you'd find things like this to be able to do. So very, very impressive stuff. He's thanked me in the credits as well on the MXP Mods post, which makes me smile a little bit, I can't lie. I thought we was just going to get an influx of Supercross and Arena Cross tracks because of my tutorials, but we're getting some outdoor stuff too, which is big old W. So sorry, all the waffling aside, I do apologise. We're riding the Yami 252 stroke today. We're going to send it up and down these hills. Let's see how it goes. For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe. I'm not going to touch on the free ride aspect of this track today because I'm just more focused on the track itself. But you can see on the map it's like down here and it's on the other side of the hill when you're in game. And apparently this bit here wouldn't have even existed if it wasn't for MXP Mods being down. So when it was down and he couldn't upload the track, he just carried on working on it and just added more and more bits. Which I suppose there was some good things that have come out of the website being hacked after all. So let's work our way down here. I mean, these don't have collisions, so that's fine. We can cut our way through. So the left is the way we want to go here. But I want to show something real quick, because I didn't even know this was doable. I'm not sure if this is something he's done manually, but I mean, I guess now that I've seen it, it's doable. But you probably just go into the notepad and delete it. But he's got less gates on the left side of the box than he does on the right. And there's 36 gates in total. And I think there's like 20 on this side and 16 on this side. And I just thought it was interesting. It's just something that I've not seen before. So very unique there. I wonder if it's like that in real life as well. I'm sure, I mean, I don't think I have a very large German demographic in terms of people that watch my videos, but maybe if any of you have ridden this track in real life, then you can confirm and or deny that. Maybe it's a practice track rather than a racetrack. Maybe there are no start gates and he's just had to fit them in here to play on this lovely game we have. But okay, deep ruts on straights. I'm here for it. What's this like? Big floater. Oh, very smooth. Love that. Nice. And I always feel like I judge these first tracks very differently to how I judge other tracks, because I'm well aware of the monumental task that making a first track is in the game. Again, if you have never done one before, then please go and check out the track building tutorials, please. It's 6 videos and they've got barely any views, but I knew they'd get barely any views. They're there to be really, really helpful and good tutorials and have it all in one place, please and thank you. It's just such a massive job. It takes so long trying to get a first track together. So I'm glad that I could help some people out in one way or another. And I am also glad that it's not just going to be a case of being flooded with Supercross and Arena Cross tracks. We are getting some outdoor stuff too. It's nice being able to just transition from discipline to discipline. Whilst I really, really do enjoy my soupy, after a while it can get a little bit boring. So it's nice to mix things up. I'm so happy I checked up over that. Let's try the inside here. Now, obviously, I do not speak German. However, if you go onto the mods post and you see there's a couple of German comments been left on there about the track, and you know when words just look like they mean good things? I haven't Google translated, but they look good. For example, mega Hellhunger kannst du mal Pristina Maschen.
Mega, mega geil, Junge, kannst du mal Bielstein machen?
I don't think I was that far off, to be fair. That's whoa! I've just seen what it. Okay. Anyway, moving on. I hope that will that get me demonetized just for having that word in the video. I don't know. I might have to. I might have to blur it out. Holy moly, this bike bounces a lot, doesn't it? Okay, so these braking bumps, they are a little bit brutal, so I can't just send them 100 miles an hour. I do need to check up a little bit. Like that he's gone for the effort of making just like custom banners and stuff. He's not just gone and grabbed a bunch of assets and plonked them in. He's taken the time to make them his own, which is a big old W. It means a lot more time and effort has gone into it. We got the Acerbis markers, or Acerbis, however we want to pronounce it. I know 100 different pronunciations of that word, and we'll just roll onto the inside here. When I was flying around before hopping on the track, I did think that it would be very outside dominant, but a lot of the inside ruts that he seems to have built are very, very viable. I am so going to try tripling that next lap if I remember to do so. Go flying over here. And one thing that I found, so when I done my first track, Riverside, which was meant to be a replica track at the beginning, which I then ended up completely changing and building like so many extra jumps and ruts and corners, it's always, it doesn't always work out well when you do an exact replica track to put in game. Just with how the way tracks in the games ride. I mean, a lot of tracks in the UK will have multiple straights, for example, where there is no jumps at all. You know, just be straight, turn, straight, turn, straight, turn, which is fine in real life, but when you go and put it in game, as you can actually, it gets a little bit boring. But so far, because the elevation changes and the rough that is added in and the ruts as well, I mean, the jumps are really, really nice and flowy. It seems like it works pretty damn good so far. I like the ruts that he's built. I'm not sure what program he used. I don't know if this was a Photoshop job or something else, but if they are like hand-drawn ruts, then they're quite impressive. I mean, he's built them up and dug them down at the same time. I'm going to go too far. I was going to say I didn't want to go too far over there to hit that one bump. Look at it. This bump here is brutal, by the way. Like, that is straight over the bars. Let me turn around. I want to try and hit this inside rut, because I haven't done that yet. And right in there. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Oh, and then I mean, you have a little bit too much speed for the roller, but it does force you to check up a little bit. Big fan. I'm pretty sure I said on lap 1. Big fan of those ruts on the straights. I think we need more of that in tracks in general. I just think it adds that just to be a little bit more precise, and it gives a chance for people to spread themselves out a bit rather than trying to ride on top of each other. So now, I said I was going to triple this next section, didn't I? Which is straight out of this corner. So if I keep her in third, on the power, send it. Oh, easy. Actually really, really clean. And then inside here, which leads to the outside. I like that the ruts aren't all uniform either. It's not just inside, middle, outside, and they all follow exactly the same angle. He's gone through the time and effort of making things all a little bit unique and not very uniform at all. Every rut has its own characteristics. Like, some will just drag all the way out wide, some will cut down across each other. And so far, this is really good stuff. I'm really impressed by this, especially for a first track. Now, Nugget Boy is one of them people that just time and time again I can always count on appearing in my live streams. He's not the most active in the world in terms of chatting, but in terms of when we do public lobbies, always in there. Always see him running about, always rocking the Axel Hodges gear. Doesn't run the Axel Hodges bike. I don't see him on a Cowie at all too often, but can't really blame him. I mean, the Cowie 250 and 450 at the moment is a little bit cheeks, in my opinion, by the way. Please, Cowie enjoyers, do not get upset with me. I'm just comparing it to other bikes in the same category, and more so from a racing perspective. It just lacks a little bit. I mean, so it's slower, which usually is fine. You know, I've ridden some of the slower bikes in the past, then usually they have characteristics that make up for it. So the Suzuki, for example, is a lot slower than the KTM. I would then argue that the Suzuki's suspension works a lot better. But I haven't really found a pro to the Cowie, other than it doesn't break traction too much because it's just smooth on the throttle from its lack of power. I still find it feels a little bit sluggish, but I mean sluggish as in heavy, like it doesn't turn great, doesn't accelerate great either, but I mean, hey, you won't be sliding out anytime soon, so I guess that is a W. This track may have been built for two-strokes, by the way. Like, it feels so nice just rocking around here. He did suggest that if you are... Oh, please stop that. Yes. If you're someone that wants to go and try the trails, which is now kind of like behind me over that hill back there, then 450. I don't really want to try anything else. It's built for the bigger bikes. I should probably go over and spin a lap or two. I am also probably going to not heed his warning and not... Why did that turn into a... I just leant back. I didn't turn. Why did that turn into like a barrel roll rather than just a backflip? Yeah, there's a very, very small chance of me actually going on a 450. I'll try it on this. If it's impossible, if I'm casing absolutely everything, then I'll probably switch up. But I'm enjoying this bike right now. Usually my 250 two-stroke of choice is the Fantic, but the Yamaha's not really too far removed from that. I think I've done a comparison with Charlie, like a lot, talking about a year ago to be fair at this point, and I think it was before the latest update to the OEM bikes. On Trentino, the GP, the paid Trentino, you off the start, you turn left, then you go down the hill, you turn right, and you've got that big uphill triple. I think I tested the 252-stroke Yami versus the 252-stroke Fantic, and on the Fantic I was greasing it no problem, and he was really struggling on the Yami. It could have come down to mapping, because I know there's a couple of different mapping options. You've got Lecron, you've got one other, which I can't remember, which I think is what I'm running right now, and then you've got Standard. So yeah, I think they all have different effects on the bike anyway, but right now it feels... Survive. It feels like a very, very capable machine. Now, obviously I'm running it completely stock in the suspension department, so you might want to work on it a little bit there, because I'm noticing every now and then the front end will get a little bit light on me. It'll get a little bit front end tucky, but the back end feels really nice. It sounds powerful. Again, I like these 252-stroke sounds when they're on the pipe. When they're in the air, don't like that. Don't like the Revlin in the air. Or when they're on the pipe on the ground, especially if you're riding a gear higher than you should be. Very, very satisfying. Like, really satisfying. And, I mean, just the perfect bike for this track. I look at some tracks sometimes, I'm just like, you know what? That's a two-stroke track. And I was right today. It suits it so, so nicely. Let's try and scumbag it. Let's go really hard. Couldn't scumbag it. I'm trying to go high up on the wall to avoid all the braking bumps and then cut down last second, but he's been quite clever. He's made it so that rut on the right isn't too deep, so you do have to check up to then be able to cut down underneath. I imagine if this track gets put onto some public lobby, like servers, the carnage from people going inside of each other there, I think most people will hug the left and just take that line that drifts to the outside afterwards. But some brave people might go from the right to left and then risk getting their front end absolutely ruined. Olenberg so ein Kulstreck. I have a feeling that is going to say, before I even Google translate it, Olenberg is a cool track. Olenberg, such a cool route. I feel like that's a translate thing. It's got to be track.
Olenberg so eine coole Strecke.
I wasn't that far off. I really wasn't. So it would appear I have found the one part of the track that does have some collisions. And by a series of unfortunate events, I have found myself wedged in here. Also, this was the gear that just popped up when I chose this bike. Rest in peace, Fraz, again. Like, gone, but never forgotten. Always here in our hearts. I don't know. It's probably one of them gear sets I'm just never going to release from the game. Come on, let's work our way down and do what we was told not to do. Let's go down to our trails. I guess we start this way? I don't think there's any particular rhyme or reason. I think we just follow it to the best of our ability. So nice, easy little drop in there. Round to the left, round to the right. That was... No, that's quite straightforward. Okay, that one's been on a stretch. And that one. Check up here. I'm going to send this. Oh, no, you haven't got to send that too bad at all. Okay, so far, I'm... Little log. Oh, log didn't have collisions, it's fine. I am questioning the 450 choice just now. Could change my mind later on. But no, so far, so good. 252 strokes, okay. Little step up. Nice. And again, okay, I can see a little bit there for some of these uphills when you need a little bit of oomph to get up the hills. But no, I think as long as you're pretty perfect with where you land, quite like how it's its own, like it's all kind of raised by itself. It's its own unique bit. I don't know why, it gives me like mountain bike trail vibes if you was just to get your mountain bike down here and free roll it. Oh, what's this? Hang on, check up. Okay, thank God. Thank God I checked up. And then gentle down to the right. Little double here. Okay. A little bit of a flow going. Definitely don't need a 450. I'm sorry to say, Mr. Nugget. That might have been a skill issue on your behalf there, sir. The 252 smoker is more than capable of getting around here, and I think a 254 stroke would be okay as well. I think 125 would be pushing it a little bit, more so for the section like complete opposite side to where I am now, where you have to step up a hill. There you go. Usually when it comes to trail stuff or blind jumps in this game, free ride-esque type jumps, I'm absolutely awful. Like, I can never downside things how you're meant to. So it takes me many, many attempts, but that was just like first attempt of everything. It feels very, very fluid. It feels very natural. That's probably the best way of doing it. Just, well, it feels right. It feels like he's tested it a good amount to where the size of the jumps and how far high or how far it sends you actually matches what you should be doing. And then this here is the only jump that you really need a little bit of oomph to get up and over. But still, if you come up a bit short on that, it's not a massive penalty at all. You can just carry on riding the rest of it, no problem at all. So overall, I couldn't be happier for him. I think he's done a really, really good job with this. And also, everyone, you have to remember again, first ever track that he's made. So W's all around. Is that? Hang on, I was just about to sign off. I think that's another cheeky little jump there. Where's that gonna land me to? Wait, do I have to? Yeah, I'm gonna ride it here. Okay, we're gonna send this. See where I land. Oh, just land up. Go on, perfect, perfect. Oh, come up a little bit short. Okay, yeah, those are the sorts of jumps that I need a few attempts at. You get the idea. Really, really good. I think it looks pretty as well. The greens are nice and vibrant also. I would say the only thing that I would improve, if he wants feedback at all, I have no idea. Obviously, don't get this wrong. This is not a bad track by any means. This is really, really fun. I'm just now talking about for future tracks, which I hope he does. But not the first time I've seen this bike do that. I think that it's just a bug with the Yami. Charlie's had it happen to him, and I've seen clips in Discord as well. I think when you just have hard impacts, it just self-explodes. Oh, okay, right, so I'm hoping he builds other tracks in the future, because if this is number one, I think we're in for a treat when he starts getting even more experience under his belt too. I think the masking is the main thing to work on, just on-track masking. The transition from on to off really isn't bad at all. I just think there needs to be a little bit more, maybe like detail on the on-track and differentiation with some like tyre tracks, etc. But yeah, for a first track, so good. Nice to see like a custom skybox that he's got in here as well, and yeah, just the ruts on straights and the ruts that cross over each other, just quite advanced techniques that you don't see many people do in their first attempt. So give him a round of applause, give him a little pat on the back, and hopefully we see some more from him in the future. Thank you very much. I love seeing, again, my subscribers doing stuff like this for the community. It's so heartwarming to see. And I do love seeing my name in the comments. I can't lie. It's a little bit of a stroke to the ego, so thank you very much, Nugget, for doing that for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, all that lovely YouTube stuff. Have a lovely rest of the day, wherever you guys are up to. I'll catch you all next time. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain. Even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want.